This evening. This evening, one of our officers, a Charles Galloway, a 12 and a half year veteran with Precinct 5, who is also a field training officer, a corporal was his rank, was brutally murdered this evening on a traffic stop. He is survived by a daughter as well as his sister and the numerous officers here at Precinct 5 who were trained by him, who he mentored, and who are going to miss him tremendously. I want to thank Chief Finner and Chief Pena with the Houston Fire Department who have been by our side, County Judge Hidalgo, who has just finished visiting with the family, as well as the officers here that are on scene. The commitment is, and I'm going to let Chief Finner speak to some of the aspects of the criminal investigation, but what we are seeing on what appears to be a regular basis on the streets of Harris County has got to stop. It has got to stop. These are not assaults. These are not attacks. These are brutal murders. We have got to put an end to this. All of the resources of Harris County, as well as the resources of the City of Houston, the District Attorney's Office, are going to be working together to bring justice to Corporal Galloway. We cannot have people like this on our streets. I don't want to raise my family, my grandchildren, in a county where this type of crime is running rampant. These are men and women who go out there on a daily basis, not because of the pay and not because of the days off and not because they like to work day shift or night shift. It's because they want to make a difference in their community, and this is what happens. We have to be able to address this across the board, and this county and the City of Houston has made that commitment. I'm going to let Chief Finner now talk a little bit about the the aspects of the criminal investigation. Chief.
Thank you, Constable. As Constable said, this has to stop. Not only law enforcement, but all our citizens. It's just sad. I just ask for prayers for the family, the entire department. I just want to touch on what happened this morning. So in approximately 12:45 a.m. in the 9100 block of Beechnut, a deputy stopped traffic. It was a white, newer model Toyota Avalon, a four-door, white in color. Witnesses described the suspect as a Hispanic male, said that he got out of his vehicle and immediately fired upon the deputy multiple times, striking him, and then drove off. This is senseless. It makes no sense whatsoever. Our Special Investigative Unit from Homicide is taking lead on it. And a message to this suspect: the best thing you can do is turn yourself in peacefully. Again, I'm just asking for prayers for the family. He did, and we always ask about weapons. We believe, and witnesses said it was an assault-type weapon. And again, he fired multiple times, striking the deputy. We're going to turn it over to the judge, and then we'll entertain questions. Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, Chief, and to Constable Heap and Chief Finner, every deputy who is here, every law enforcement officer. I offer my condolences to the family of Charles Galloway. I am just heartbroken. I just spoke with his sister. This is a tragedy that nobody should face. And I saw in there a group of law enforcement officers that worked with this hero. And what I see is committed people dedicated to service, dedicated to sacrifice for the sake of this county's public safety, who now have to wonder even more what happens every time they go out there on the streets and leave their families behind. And so I am deeply saddened. On behalf of Harris County, I express my deepest condolences for this family and to all of our brave law enforcement officers. And I join all of our leaders here in saying this all has got to end. I appreciate Chief Vinner's support and leadership in making sure that we bring this suspect to justice, and we will not rest until we do. And I ask that everybody please join us in prayer and support for the family that now has suffered a profound, profound loss. And the coming days, we will remember this incredible public servant and law enforcement officer. En español, brevemente, vengo a ofrecer mi apoyo a tanto al Constable Heap como a cada oficial, cada policía en esta comunidad y sus familias. He hablado con la hermana del héroe que perdió su vida el día de hoy. He hablado también con los miembros de su equipo. Son hombres y mujeres de servicio, son hombres y mujeres de mucho compromiso que ponen sus vidas en riesgo día tras día para proteger esta comunidad porque creen en ese espíritu de servir a esta comunidad, a este condado. Quieren a este condado. Entonces, vengo con muchísima tristeza y le pido a cada miembro de nuestro condado, de nuestra comunidad, que se una a nosotros a ofrecer apoyo, bendiciones, amor a la familia de este héroe y a todos los oficiales, los líderes de policía que nos protegen día tras día. Estas tragedias deben parar. No vamos a descansar hasta que no encontremos al sospechoso y a la persona que mató a nuestro héroe Charles Galloway. Y le doy las gracias al jefe de policía Finner por liderar esta investigación.
Yes, Corporal Galloway, as I had stated, has been with the department about 12 and a half years. He has worked in different aspects of our patrol division. For the last several years, he has been assigned to the toll road division. During that time, Corporal Galloway actually switched shifts, decided to go on to a night shift so that he could become a field training officer. So his role was taking a lot of these young officers who were sworn in and mentoring them, teaching them what it takes to be a safe, to be an efficient officer, and that's what he prided himself on. He was very much loved by the men and women that he served with, as well as there's a lot of very broken up officers who he meant a lot in their lives because he was the one that was sitting in the front seat with them. He was the one that was teaching them what to do and how to get home safely to their families. And here we are this evening with the roles reversed.
How is he?
Deputy Corporal Galloway was 46, if I'm not mistaken. 47.
Can you talk about the traffic stop he was making, Constable?
Well, the investigation is ongoing, so I'm not comfortable releasing anything that the city is not comfortable with. But it was a traffic stop, as Chief Finner told you, on the Hunter block, and it seemed to be, although there is no such thing as a routine traffic stop, it was one of these situations to where Corporal Galloway did not have an opportunity to respond or even defend himself with this brutal attack.
All right.
Do we know what the stop was for?
No, we don't know yet. It's part of the investigation, and we'll give that to you at appropriate time. Anything else?
And the suspect is still out.
Suspect is still out. Yeah.
Any more information about the suspect or the suspect vehicle at this time?
Yeah. No, just what we gave you. Just remember, it's a white, newer model Toyota Avalon, a 4-door. The witnesses described him as a Hispanic male, a younger Hispanic male. We don't have an age. Okay.
I saw what
appeared to be a ton of shell casings at the scene. Are we talking about an exorbitant amount of gunfire?
I don't know the amount of shots, but multiple shots. It's again, it's senseless. Senseless.
Was Officer Galloway able to get any shots off himself?
I don't think so at this time, but we want to reserve until we can verify that. Okay.
Either Chief Finn or Constable Heap. This is, we believe, the fourth law enforcement agency law enforcement during the last few days to be killed in the line of duty across the country. Can either one of you just kind of talk to us about that?
I'll let him speak first to it, and then I'll speak. Go ahead, Constable.
What you're seeing here, in my opinion, is a trend that is forming. We have people that are on the streets who don't feel or that there's consequences for their actions. When somebody decides to engage and take the life of a police officer because of a traffic stop, then I think we have a breakdown in how society is supposed to be. So yes, I do see this trend increasing. Precinct 5 has lost 3 officers in the line of duty. All officers that we have lost have actually been assigned to the toll road. That did not mean that the deaths occurred on the toll road, but they were assigned to the toll road. Those officers are very active, and they come in contact with many, many people, 24 hours a day. So
it just speaks to society in general, not only in our region but around the nation. And my advice and my call to everyone, we better get damn intentional about locking up violent individuals and leaving them. It's a place for them. And this is what's so frustrating. It's not everybody. It's not every suspect that commits a crime. It is the most violent individuals. And until we come together in this region, all over our nation, and understand that violent people, it's a darn place for them, and that's jail. That's it, y'all. Good.